told me and Slay why he was mad. His only real gripe was he didn't want to pay for old boy's funeral.
What's good, y'all? It's your boy, the Answer Man. Mark Curry pops on talking to Wack about Bad Boy. He was one of those bad boys from life from the early 2000 days. He was down in Atlanta when all that went down with Wolf, Big Meech. And he wants to talk about Gene Deal and why he's so mad at Puff. Let's get into the content. There's a lot here, so this is part one. Appreciate y'all tuning in.
I wrote about this
That's a fact.
and I predicted it before he even went through it. So every time they play a song and they be like, Puff is winning. Look, listen to this song. I'll be like, yeah, he winning. I wrote a book and y'all don't even know I wrote that song too.
Yeah, but Mark, you got paid for writing, right?
Come on, no,
Mark.
I get my publishing. Hell yeah.
Mark, but what I'm saying, like, you know how the business go, right?
Yeah, I
can't say. I mean, that's just like he bought
that.
Yeah, you got paid, so
He bought
No, Wack, salute.
Yeah, what salutes what he did as a performer. You probably couldn't have pulled off, and what you wrote as a writer, he couldn't pull it off. That's how the business go. Then me and you both know, bro, you can't stand with Gene Deal on that. What Puff Kids did, because when they got rid of Gene, Puff Kids was like 8 years old, bro. They wasn't going to no clubs. Now me and you both know where Gene last job was at. K-Slay 200 a day. This is a fact. He was driving a beat up Ford Explorer. Me and you both know his real gripe is he got mad Puff wouldn't give up all the money for that man's funeral. That's his only gripe. And from there, it been going crazy. You know that.
Yo, Wack, but see, that's not the whole situation. Listen, right? So half of it's about his mom, because Puff was being like disrespectful towards his mom though too though. Like, you know what I'm saying?
How,
so
bro?
Look, hold on.
Puff say that.
Listen, Wack, look, Wack, listen, right? I was
we ain't talking about what Gene Deal said. Show me where Puff said that. You gotta remember, Mark, hear me out, bro. Me and Slay set Gene down. Why? Slay telling Gene, hey, look, bro, you my family. But this you doing it around and closed doors for me. What's the problem? I sat there, bro, when he told me and Slay why he was mad. His only real gripe was he didn't want to pay for old boy's funeral. He never mentioned nothing about Puff said he his mama, none of that, bro. Don't get mad at me, bro, because I sit down with and do business with and got a relationship with is you can't sit down with and they happen to be from your city. Mark know who I am like I know who he is. I'm telling you up close and personal who we sat down with. Bro, what is the problem? It's late telling you can't keep going at this and I'm in this business. What you doing? You my family. We related. You my security. And what the problem? And it said they didn't pay for old boy's funeral when he reached out to him. He never ever mentioned nothing about a mother, this, that, and we've never heard Puff do that. So Gene is saying a lot of to try to justify. Mark, me and you both know, early 2000s, 01, 02, after Wolf brought him back in and they got rid of him, he was out of here. When that said, and Puff Kids was doing the same thing, you don't know that. You wasn't around Puff Kids when they was old enough to go to clubs. Me and you both know that.
That's a fact, White. That's a fact.
It's just real, you know what I'm saying? So I know Gene. Like I know Gene. I have relied on Gene to make sure the door was straight. We've been on the same movement in the same building, on doing the same business. And it's just crazy. It's like the more he said and the more attention he got, he doing what Suge is doing. Suge doing a lot of just make it up. He make it up to keep talking.
So you saying he doing that basically this for money for the
exactly. I remember when they first offered like $500 to do some. He was like in his little apartment or whatever. I remember him calling Slay, and that's when Slay was like, "Yo, you gotta cut this out. It's gonna fall back on me." At the time, Slay he went crossing over from being the DJ to actually having a label deal. The Papoose think he might have got a couple million, 1.5, 2 million, whatever. And he knows, like, bro, dude can shut down or he can help me. Funkmaster Flex is the reason why K-Slay was on radio. Flex got Slay that job. So he like, you out here butthurt because got rid of you. you wasn't never full time anyway. Gene, you a probation officer. Let it go, right? And when Slay said, "What's the problem?" He said, "When I reached out for old boy and then wouldn't pay for the funeral, Slay flipped on him. Got buried. His family buried him. You mad because Puff wouldn't pay?" And see, Slay said it. He said, "If I've been paying you 200,000 a year and your kid, don't look for me to bury you because you want the Slay went left. You want the money off, do this, do this. Now you mad at this for paying it and he can get it, bury his own self or life insurance or whatever, and you doing this that can jeopardize me." And Slay bagged up from Gene. It was about 18 months, 2 years, Slay stopped even letting Gene come around.
It also might stem from like when you look at like I don't never like to throw nothing out there, especially at while things is going on, especially with Puff and these allegations. But it's like when Wolf died. After
There it
he
goes.
died,
You
Puff
know
signed
exactly
Boys in
who
the
I'm
Hood.
talking about.
Yeah, after he died, he signed Boys in the Hood, and it's like, damn, how you gonna sign these after these? This is what happened, and then it was a big thing. So
Down
then
in
you
Atlanta,
realize what was happening. Yeah, you
because it
realize.
was
So
in
then,
Atlanta.
these are the things that I'm thinking that this is what I'm gonna hear about. This is
Yeah.
not nothing. I ain't hear about that. So all of these things about girls and all of that, man, that ain't
Now
nothing.
you do know that old boy and Puff had a great relationship. You know
Super,
that. Him
super
and Meech
duper.
was tight. So, and this is what I'm saying about a security. Come on, Mark. You know that wasn't allowed at the table of negotiation. You was with a
No,
bad. You was outside. They didn't
no, you
let you.
couldn't do
Come
that.
on, Mark.
Yeah, yeah,
Mark, come on,
yeah,
bro.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Come
You
on.
Well,
Even
Mark
even
said
even those
earlier he
meetings,
was an
Mark,
artist.
Mark,
He was an
Mark.
artist, so
Even
he just
those
wasn't.
meetings with the artists when maybe discussing that might go on, he wasn't allowed in there. He looked at your law enforcement. You know what
yeah,
I'm saying? Know
which
that you got an oath, but like you can't get involved with why he's doing business with them people because of that.
yeah,
You can because see how Puff gonna look at it, Mark. That was behind a that wasn't behind you a beef with Bad Boy and that. That wasn't behind nothing that had to do with me. That was behind a.
hmm
So I'm gonna continue my business.
yeah,
You know
yeah.
that, Mark.
So and then that's why in the book when I seen Meech and he said, yo, I usually don't explain nothing to no behind nothing, but I'm gonna explain to you because I feel you caught in the middle.
That's a
He was
fact.
like, was shooting at he shot me in the butt. When he said he shot me in the butt, he said, so I was running. I was like, all right, there's nothing else to say.
I mean, at that point in time, Mark, you know how I go. When get to getting off, don't know who bullet struck who. Get to popping and popping. But this Gina say, how could you? Hey, look, Puff gonna look at it like me and this man already was cool. We got a working relationship. This shit over. He got shot off. It's unfortunate it happened. We ain't never cried about Big Jake, Mark. You feel me?
Mhm.
You
Yeah,
know what's happening because we
yeah,
know
that
what's
shit right
happening.
there, cold, man.
You
I
get
even
what I'm
put that.
saying?
Yeah.
We know what it is. We ain't cried about. You ain't never heard us say it's on with that or that or that behind that. We know what it is.
Hey, yo, you want to know something whack? I told somebody the other day, I said, you know what? I said, yo, I don't never really talk to Wack, but I said, Wack know my people, right? And I said that I think that line between my people and what it's just so respected. We'll never have we'll never cross a line.
It ain't gonna
That is,
happen
it ain't
because if
gonna
it's
happen.
that much of a problem, I'm gonna tap in with your people. I'm
Yeah,
gonna
and
put
it
it in
ain't
their
never
hands
gonna happen.
and let them deal with it. So a lot of these be talking on this app, and I'll be like, hey, look, a lot of you, I don't know where y'all come
Yeah,
from,
yeah,
where y'all
yeah.
was at.
He
I be,
Wack really know my people. Yeah, he really he really
yeah.
he could silence something real quick.
Yeah, yeah. So say what they say. I know who I am, who I've been doing business with, who I'm tied to, been tied to. But Gene be putting a lot of extras. Now I'm gonna tell you what his threat is. Now that Puff went to trial and whatever happened happened. Now it's over with. His little storytelling is over with.
Right, but they done cracked open a new joint, and if you peep in Suge last interview, and peep in Gene last interview, and put it together, and I think you're gonna see you're gonna see something totally
Doing a lot of
different.
Suge doing a lot of like lie snitching. Like I'm gonna tell you, this how I know Dick Ride Suge. Suge been on the internet the last 6 months straight telling. Did this so dope. He's straight pointing out and ain't nobody saying nothing. You get what I'm saying? This is why I had to silence him and sit him down and tell him, bro, you keep playing, right? I'm gonna put this picture up. Everybody know you sick. I'm gonna let them know why you sick. You know what I'm saying? We put about what you said about Kim Porter and her having and how you know she had, right? And you ain't gonna like it. I had to let him hear his own voice and remind him.
Hey, Mark, you heard that before?
Nah, I ain't. Cause if
Nah,
he's
but
saying
this
it,
what it
it'll
is.
never
This
be,
is
it'll
Suge.
never get out there like
Listen,
that.
listen. This is Suge direct words. I know Kim Porter got because she know she got it.
All right, y'all, there it is. Like I said, man, they talked for a while, so we putting together part 2 and 3 for you. There's a lot to cover with Mark Curry. He was around for a lot of bad boy events. I thought he might even get pulled to the witness stand. He was doing interviews on Vlad and every other platform. He ain't had too many nice things to say about Puff either, so I don't know how he didn't get caught up, but maybe we'll find out in part 2 or 3. Let me know what y'all think in the comments, man. Until next time, we out.